Could you imagine a world where dinosaurs and humanity live together? Jurassic Park, directed by Steven Spielberg, is a science fiction adventure film that pictures a world where scientists achieve the ability to overcome natural limitations and reconstruct extinct dinosaurs back to life through recovered DNA, while simultaneously warning audiences about the ethical and practical consequences of humanity attempting to control nature. The film unites scientific de-extinction themes of genetics, cloning, and revival of lost species alongside entertainment, allowing modern audiences to consider the balance between scientific ability versus scientific responsibility. The film challenged my perception of science by showing that scientific progress is not inherently good or bad. Its impact depends on how responsibility is applied. The main scientific theme portrayed in Jurassic Park is de-extinction, which is the ecological replacement of an extinct species, with some main pathways being cloning and genetic engineering. Cloning aims to create genetically identical copies of an extinct species from preserved somatic cells. Within the beginning of the film, scientists extract dinosaur DNA from fossilized mosquitoes in amber, which had fed on dinosaur blood millions of years prior. Using this DNA, they attempt to reconstruct a dinosaur through the cloning process. I found it fascinating how uncovering fossils not only illustrates past errors, but also allows scientists to recover, study, and resurrect ancient animals through their DNA. However, due to incomplete genetic sequences, the scientists combine this with genetic engineering, which aims to edit the genome sequence within cells of living species, so that these genome sequences closely resemble that of a closely related extinct species. By combining the incomplete dinosaur DNA with frog DNA to fill the gaps of the genetic sequence, scientists successfully create living dinosaurs. Watching them possess the ability to undo the effects of extinction within this scene expanded my original understanding of the abilities of scientists. As we gain more knowledge on ecological reality, increased amounts of methods previously deemed impossible can become a reality, which made me realize how the future is subject to scientific creation. The film, however, balanced my views of the de-extinction methods towards the lunch debate scene around the middle of the film. Despite having safeguards, the scientists overlook the complexities of managing the living systems by which they created. To which Dr. Ian famously warns, your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should. This quote expresses the central message of the film. The issue is the people that attempt to control science, not the science itself. This made me realize the universal humanitarian theme, that as a person grows in power, their pride and arrogance overrides the living consequences resulting from their actions. The scientists were so proud of their ability to create that they forgot what they were creating. This made me realize that extinction is a part of nature, and it's best to let nature take its course. Then bring back species that weren't meant to live on. By undoing the inevitable, we simultaneously bring back the consequences that originally caused the species to go extinct in the first place. The film made me think about modern de-extinction attempts. Just recently, the first completely successful de-extinction, the North American eastern peregrine falcon, took place. Prior to watching the film, I had a very sound view of science, that it was fascinating and always good as humanity expands its knowledge on the natural world. The film confirmed my previous views as it showed the power of science in breaking natural limitations and achieving the ability to resurrect extinct species, something that up until recently was beyond human comprehension. This impacted my sound understanding and made me realize the intense labor and research put into science in order to achieve outstanding scientific ability. However, the film challenged my previous view, which was broad and generalized. As humanity gains understanding and breaks through ecological barriers, an increased level of caution must accompany it. The scientists in the film were so proud of their scientific ability that they forgo the liabilities, believing they had complete control over the dinosaurs they created, without realizing the abilities they themselves possess. This impacted how I originally thought, as I now view science as neither good or bad. Rather, I believe that with great scientific ability comes greater scientific responsibility. As we as a civilization continue to grow in intelligence, we must remember our limitations as a forewarning of potential problems. Thank you for listening. Have a lovely day.